Here is Valorant's brand new map called Summit in all of its glory. Now, Riot were kind enough to give me early access today, so I'll be hopping into this map and taking a look, just giving you a showcase, walking you through it, so you can be familiar with it all when it is finally time for you to hop in game yourself. Before I get too ahead of myself, I will show you the minimap first and foremost, so if you want to pause and take a closer look, you can see that is how it is all going to look right there. And then also keep in mind some of the spawn barriers. You can see all of them there for now, and I'll try and make note of them as I go by each of them. Yeah, otherwise let's hop right into it. So this map is just absolutely gorgeous. I cannot get over how good the exterior of the map looks as well as the interior. I will be doing this walkthrough from the attacker's perspective, and I will go over towards A first. But you can see here is the spawn area in itself. As the attacker, you can see Sage's room right in there, and then off to your right, of course, is going to be towards A. So let me just end the game phase. You can see you'll have these two barriers here first of all. So over there is going to be in towards mid, which I'll cover later. But otherwise, this is going to be A main, so you can already jump right on top of here and fight over the top of that box. See, there's a gaming cafe here, but let's not get too distracted. Coming into main, I have to worry about that corner as well. Can pick up this orb right here. And then the A side itself is actually pretty weird, especially in comparison to the distance from A main. You know, there are some sites where you might be able to plant it there and just sit back and main and spam, but that is not going to be the case on Summit A side at all. You have to take all of this space first, or at least be mindful of, you know, behind that box, behind this box as well. Some people can play, but as far as the actual planting area goes, if you come into this water area, you can see this is the actual planting area. So it's very tucked away. Not sure what default would be exactly. Ideally, you get it down nice and open so you can see it from far away, but a safe plan will be behind this box is your safest bet, because right over here is where the defenders are going to be coming from. I imagine this is, I thought it was going to be called Ben, but apparently it's cave. So the defenders will be coming from this cave area, looking here towards the side, and then if you come through here, this of course is that area I was just showing you, and that is where A main is. And that does now bring us to our first door on this map. There are going to be 3 of these doors, one towards B, one towards A, one towards mid. I did mistakenly say there was 2 in my shot because I forgot about the mid one. But essentially how these unbreakable doors work is, first of all, you have to break this panel, which has 125 health. So you can see if I shoot it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, that door is going to drop. And then now there is nothing that you can do to break this. And this is now a physical wall in the map. Now there is still a little hole in the top of this wall, so if you have, say, something like a sage wall or a jet updraft, you definitely can look over the top and see what's going on the other side. But otherwise, you can just introduce a new wall to this map by breaking that panel. So that's probably something you want to do as an attacker as you're coming through, just breaking that, and then that will bring that door down. But back to the attacker's perspective, if you come through here, that will be towards mid, which again, I'll focus on a little bit later. And then if you come through this cave area, this will eventually lead you towards defender spawns. Right here is the other side of this door, so you can see how before this is broken down, the defenders will just literally be sitting here watching A main from all the way back here. That's why it's going to be so important to break that panel and get this door shut. Okay, now let's get a quick feel for the B side from the attacker's perspective. So from spawn, you obviously want to come towards your left. Nice little area here. Over here, it's going to be in towards mid, so you'll have one of the barriers right over here. Then if you don't go towards mid, obviously this is going to be where your B main area is in here. So after the barrier drops, pretty quickly you're going to be fighting towards this area. And in general, this sort of reminds me of Sunset B main, where the defenders can pretty quickly pick around this corner. Maybe you have to clear this one as well. Yeah, otherwise the B main orb is going to be very, very open as well. And once again, it's going to be pretty confronting pushing onto this side initially because of that initial doorway. And you can see where this panel is placed, you have to peek out pretty wide to actually come and get it. It's not like, you know, you can quickly like jiggle peek, break it, come on. All the way over there is going to be that panel, but there 4 bullets like so. That door is going to be broken. So I'm going to be interested to see whether people tend to commit a smoke to that or not. Like, is it really worth using one of your smokes if you can just shut it down immediately afterwards? But that's sort of besides the point. You can see right here coming through B main, very tight corner on your right. Another sort of corner on your left. This one isn't quite as deep. Otherwise, you might have to worry about someone playing behind this box. You can also jump up here for, you know, a bit of different elevation. You'll also have to be mindful of people playing behind this box potentially. And then over in towards here is just, again, going to be sort of mid. So we'll get to that later. And with this hut on site, you probably want to take as much of this space as possible. I think you'll be smoking here off pretty often because that's towards defender spawn. But otherwise, especially compared to A, there is a lot of plant area to work with here. I'm not quite sure where default is going to be. This is probably going to be where people tend to go, but I don't think it's the best. You can see you don't have much space to work with there in main. And, you know, in a perfect world, the more open, the better. Now, over to the left here is an interesting little area. It's going to be a drop. So the defenders, I'll get up there later, but there is a drop that they can silently come down. And then they have this area. So when you're attacking, you want to make sure at least once you probably clear through here, see what's going on. And then maybe if you have a sage wall this off. Yeah, that is the B side from attacker's perspective. I will come back to these doors from the defender's perspective later, once they're all opened up again. But yeah, you come through here. There is a rope to get up towards heaven. And then through there is going to be the defender spawn. Now let's quickly take a look at mid from the attackers. So if you're going to mid from the A side of things, this is a lobby, like I was showing you earlier. You come through here, and this is what you're going to be dealing with in mid. You've got this sort of, I mean, on the map it says top mid is this area. And then as soon as you pick this, there are going to be defenders right there. So you can see you have this sort of space sort of to yourself, but as soon as you get around that corner, you have to be mindful. There's a little jump up here that you can get to. Take a look around here. And then if you're attacking from the B side of things, again, this is where the barrier is going to be. You have this little bit of space to work with, but as soon as you come around this corner, you're going to be fighting people right over there. Otherwise, this is the common sort of space in mid, all around here. And then over here is window, and is where the third and final door is. And you can see the panel is actually really tucked away. So even though you can see the door from here, to actually break that panel, you have to get all the way up here, break that one like so. And then that is one less thing for you to worry about. And that is going to be, I would say, essential in doing a B split. In that way, you get to come through here, clear all of this space out. And once you make your way through B link, now you're on site. Just like so. There is this other extra angle to worry about here. This weird sort of link section in towards defender spawn. But otherwise, once you break that door down, attacking B through mid is going to be relatively simple. And then you can see just like so, you're on the B side. Now, as far as doing an A split goes, getting that door down isn't actually as important because you don't really need any of that space. Like, sure, you'll still have to worry about it. They can see you from that door. If it's not down a little bit, actually not really, you can just stay tucked in, sneak your way through here. And this is slowly but surely going to get you towards the A side. So you can see you're coming through this area, which is called mid bend on the minimap. That's going to be mostly what you're worrying about. Defenders coming through there, but this is their space initially as a defender. So you have to worry about here. I think, yeah, you can get on top of this box as well. So any agent can get up here. You'll have to worry about this angle, but otherwise defenders spawn is going to be through there. And as you come around this corner, you're now on the back of A side essentially. And this is where I was saying earlier, you might have defenders playing to watch A main. So if you go through mid fast enough, you can get behind these guys and help your teammates in main take site. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of emphasis on mid control on this map. If you're just 5-manning sites, you're going to get very stuck in those tight choke points. So having at least some sort of pressure coming through mid and either of the links is going to be pretty important. All right, now to quickly give a little bit more perspective from the defender side of things, you can see how far up this barrier is. So as soon as this barrier drops, you can probably sneak your way across here before the attackers can see some, you know, maybe a chamber would shift walk across, stay here, get a pick, and then teleport, you know, all the way safely back to site. And then with this door, before the attackers come and break it, you can see this angle that you can get where you can just play behind this box, watch main, or maybe even all the way back here. You can take these angles as well and take advantage of them before that gets shut down and taken away from you. Same thing now from the B side as a defender. You can see the barriers all the way here. It's going to be pretty hard. I don't think you'll be able to get too far out actually, because the attackers come around that corner insanely quickly, but there are some plays you could go for there for sure. And then you have this really high up heaven window angle before the attackers break that door. Maybe you want to hold this angle. So keep in mind, you've got the rope to come all the way up here. And even if this door is shut, it's probably still important to take this space, or at least have someone dropping down silently and making their way through this area as the rest of your team is retaking through that main area. I just realized I sort of forgot about defender spawn. So you can see the spawn area again. This map just looks gorgeous. I can't get over how good this map looks. Stars as well in the sky. Everything is insane. But from a defender's perspective, if you're heading towards A, you will make your way through here. Nice little hallway, and then this is where the door is going to be, and then you have the cave taking you around towards the back of A site. And then if you're going to go defend B instead, just make your way through here. Obviously there you've got that rope taking you up towards the window and the door. Otherwise, right here is where the site is. So as soon as the attackers are out, you might have to be mindful of that angle, and then as soon as you peek around here, that is going to be B main. And then defending mid is actually really interesting. You can see there are 3 sort of avenues that you initially have. If you come from defender spawn, the main one is going to be right here where the door is obviously, so you instantly get this space. I'm not sure if there would ever be a time where you instantly break this, because you sort of shut yourself out. Yeah, otherwise you can imagine as soon as this barrier drops, you can hold mid from here. Otherwise, in from B link as well, You don't get to fight them as aggressively, but this probably is pretty important space to take and have this angle. And then from the A-link side of things as well, maybe you want to work your way up in here and get ready to take on the attackers as they come into mid. But yeah, that was a walkthrough of the New Map Summit. Again, those 3 doors are going to be its feature. 2-side map, 3 lanes. I'm really excited for this one to come into ranked. It is going to be in ranked straight away, but you will receive 50% reduced RR losses for the first 2 weeks. So don't be afraid to dodge this map. If you do lose, you will lose a little bit less. And if you win, you will still, of course, get 100% full gains. There will also be a summit only queue for the first week. So if you just want to try the new map, there will be basically a swift play, but you only get this map for the first week. I know I'll definitely be trying that out. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this new map. Probably have a few videos out over the next few days as well, talking about which agent's going to be the best for this map, as well as some of the lore, probably because I'm sure there is a lot of lore to break down here. So maybe I'll take a look at that as well.